because I wish people would stop trying to be vigilante. If the other side want to talk about America having white privilege, it's these with white privilege. White liberals are a cancer to America. Black women only follow along because they've been told that they're a victim all their life, so they don't got no brain on that side. They just go along with what the white woman say. You're a victim. They did this to you. They owe you this. When the whole time they want to use black people to steal. Let's talk about it. Civil rights is a way for the demon rest to steal. And her wife should be charged with, yes, I said it. You don't tell your wife to drive off in a situation that's highly intense like that. Where was the logical person in this situation? Calm down, baby. Let's just chill out. Her wife was sitting out there recording, talking shit to the cops, telling them that they need to go buy them some lunch. And when they come back, they still gonna have the same license plate. And then as soon as the ICE officer said, get out the car, that's when they try her best to get in the car. And all in the while telling her wife to drive off. Now I see why you were scared. Because you started something, you provoked those officers until they got to a point to do something about, and now y'all want to flee. Talking about you scared. Scared of what? Those are liberal tears. That's what you call when a white woman, white liberal woman, called the police on you and start crying so they can do that empathy on the police officers because they going to take their side every single time. That's what y'all did. They can't with black people no more, so they doing it to each other. The Karens doing it to each other now. Where's the racism? If she was black, y'all would have been screaming racism. Just be thinking how much the white liberals would be pushing racism if she was a black woman. They would eat this up and they would use everything that they could to gain votes off of this situation. So while black people on the demon rat side talking about white Americans are getting everything, it's these white liberals. They're the white Americans you're mad at. The people that's your enemy is the ones on y'all team. Liberal white women. They still mad they had to let their slaves go.
One of the biggest threats in America right now is the white liberal American woman. They are so radicalized at this point that they can't even see that they're no longer fighting for Americans. They're willing to ride or die for illegal criminals that have come into this country. It is absolutely absurd. And it's dangerous.
Trump is banning immigration from Somalia. What are your thoughts about that?
I think it's terrible.
Why?
I just think that there's a lot of bad things going on in Somalia, and we should be taking people in war-torn countries in.
We should be taking them in. We're trying to get people today to sign up to take in a Somali migrant. Would you be able to do that?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I could or not. I don't live in New York.
Well, that's okay. Where do you live?
Massachusetts.
We could send them to Massachusetts if that's all right. Could we get your name, email address, and then how many you'd be able to take in?
I couldn't do that without talking to my husband first. I might be open to it.
You might be open to it?
But I would want to have more information first.
Okay. Could we just get your information just in case you...
Only because I don't know who you are.
Oh, I'm Matt Miller.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I do it through an organization.
Okay. President Trump says he's stopping immigration from Somalia. What are your thoughts about that?
We need immigration as a country. It's insane the arbitrary stops that he's putting in on all these countries.
You think America should accept in third world immigrants? He shouldn't stop it?
We always have. We should.
We should. Let me ask you, we're trying to find people to take in a migrant from Somalia. Would you be able to give us just your email and how many you would like to take?
I wouldn't be available to do that at this time.
You wouldn't be available?
No. I live in Michigan. I can't do that right now.
Okay. I mean, we could send them to Michigan if that's all right. We're just trying to get... You don't want to do it?
Not at this time.
Right now, I'm representing myself, and I'm representing the folks at Rise and Resist who have been trained
so Rise
to
and
be
Resist.
Marshals today.
How much do they pay you to wear this vest?
Absolutely nothing.
Really?
So I did some digging, and the woman trying to stop my interview is named Karen Shaw. She is a professional protester. I found her at almost 100 different protests. Let's look at her portfolio, shall we? Here's her outside Trump Tower saying TikTok time's up. Here's her saying ban guns, not drag. Amazing. This is her telling us that lies have consequences. She is also very passionate about abortion. Even in the video right now, she's just wearing a hat that says abortion on it. Sometimes she gets less creative though and just holds a sign that says enough.
Wow.
Chris, I'll give you the first word on this. You can go wherever you want to go. What are your thoughts, bro?
It's astounding. It's interesting where we have to look at where these people have gotten radicalized, because the first woman is absolutely correct. I mean, Malcolm X, love him or hate him, had it right 60 years ago. That the most dangerous person in America is the white liberal, because they're entirely stupid. They're willing to ride or die for something that will destroy their own nation. And it has become an absolute, metastasizing cancer in the, white female population. And I can only guess that they're getting this from 12 years of, school indoctrination from, government-run schools, and then they go off to college, where they, basically get government money to go to a college and get an entirely worthless degree that is nothing but garbage and tripe that is poured down their head for 4 years without any counter arguments. Some of them will start to come out of it, once they actually get a job or, have a family. But there's a lot of these that are either familyless or, they have no children. They're the cat ladies, as JD Vance would put them. And they never come out of this. But some of them are even more so indoctrinated that they're teaching their kids this nonsense. So it's absolutely astounding, because if they simply look at the countries that they seem to be advocating for, the types of places that they're advocating for, they're absolutely dangerous to women. Women have no rights, real rights in those countries. And, talking about good, the liberal white woman who was, unalived while impeding ICE officers, she was impeding ICE officers from trying to arrest a multiple time offender of the sexual variety. He was an assault. He was convicted of assault and was still in the country. And that's who they were trying to arrest. So she would much rather ride or die for someone who is literally a physical danger to her and her children than allow ICE to simply do their jobs. And there needs to be drastic action taken against these, when available, against these people. For example, her, lesbian trollop, I'm not going to call her a wife because she's a woman, she can't have a wife, should be arrested for accessory to felony homicide. That woman was the one who got her to go to the protest, was encouraging her, was there in the vehicle with her, and was actually heard on video saying, drive, 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 right before she almost ran over the ICE officer and got unalived. She was killed in the process of committing a crime. That, by definition, in all 50 states, is felony homicide. And she should be charged. She should be perp walked, charged, and tried for accessory to felony homicide. When we start doing that, you will start seeing these instances actually go down. When people start seeing that not only are there real consequences in terms of I might lose my life if I do this, but if I'm involved in this and somebody else loses their life, I'm going to prison. And these people need to be prosecuted when they are committing crimes and when those around them that they are encouraging commit crimes. It's called accessory. And until we do that, we're not going to see the end of this. But the other aspect of this is how many of these people are paid agitators that are actually funded by groups that are trying to destroy the United States, Soros just being one of them. But we need to track the money. If you find that there was money changing hands to some of these professional protesters and somebody dies in the process, every single person that was involved in the money train should be charged with accessory to felony homicide. When we start doing that and rounding up dozens and hundreds of people and you dry up the funding sources, I think you'll see half of this go away.
Dave, I'll give you the next word, bro.
Yeah, Wise. I'm not surprised. See, the thing with these liberals is that they love to get in front of a camera and say a bunch of really cool things. And then when you test them on it, same thing with the liberal politician. It's like, hey, we welcome everybody because that's the American way. And we don't need borders like we have them. Well, Do you want to take in any of these illegals? Well, no. Wasn't Kamala talking about, we want everyone, and then all of a sudden, when them borders started coming to her, do not come. Do not come. All of a sudden, we're not worried about gun control. All of a sudden, we're not worried about armed guards or any of that. But the same armed guards that you say are hindering people at the border are the same type of armed guards you have protecting you in your multi-million-dollar houses. This is what they do. They don't want to take in nobody. They just want to go and get their protest bag and go about their business. And they say black people hustle. All right.
I got to tell you this. This is what I mean when I say that you have to stick it to them when they make the stupid statements. You saw the brother with the pad, and he asked him about Somalia and about being cut off, and they were, oh, that's wrong. As soon as he opened up the door for them to take one in, all of a sudden their philosophy changed. That's how you have to nail them in public, because people have to see that. See, it's one thing to argue and rant, so that's fine, but that's not going to help them see the light. You have to challenge them at the point of their stupidity. And I don't know how long that clip was, but I would have loved to see it going a little further and find out how far they were going to go before they say, yeah, well, I'm really not down with taking them in myself. See, they don't mind the government spending money taking them in, but they don't want to spend their money taking them in. This is the hypocrisy of it all. They really don't care about these people. It's activism. It is activism. Now, one thing I have to say, though, we have to be more careful on our side, because no one loves to see someone lose their life. No one's rejoicing in that. But the fact of the matter is, and especially because when they lose their life, even though they're legitimately taking them out, we have to understand that fans the flame of their insanity, because it's used to misrepresent what really happened, like you see happening. So we got to be careful with that. But the fact of the matter is that if we keep nailing their insanity and the way they are actually thinking and challenge it in an open daylight, it makes them look crazier. See, calling them crazy is not sufficient. They can call us crazy. But when you do what that brother did with that pad and challenge them to take the next step or to explain their rationale, they can't do it. That's where our power is. That is where our greatest power is, because these people are radicalized and their minds are not right. They're not thinking correctly. And unfortunately, people who are halfway sensible also get provoked by that radicalism. Because they think they're being sympathetic. And I'm hearing Christians, I'm hearing literally born again Christians, people who I know are Christians, put up posters or videos saying that is the way we're supposed to respond to ICE is to run them out. These are born again Christians because they're being influenced by their rationality. And that's on us. So I praise God for your program, Brother Wise. I thank God for the sanity on this podcast. We need a whole lot more of us, because the people are losing their minds, and we can't let them keep going up, because they will rise up against us and start shooting folks.
Crystal, what are your thoughts?
So, I just talked to, I don't know. I think that's just divine timing, because I just talked about this last night. The white little woman is nothing new under the sun. She's literally just the Jezebel spirit. She literally is. And the white men that are over there supporting it are Ahab. If you see that, they're very weak. They're domiciled. They can't stand up for what is true. They let these women run rampant like they have no sense. These women think they control everything, and they do not. In fact, them leading is very problematic. And what that woman said in the first clip is exactly what I was saying. I said that there's people talk about white privilege, but they don't understand that white privilege, that white entitlement, that white heavy racism comes from the liberal. I'm not saying that there aren't any racists in the conservative movement, but definitely on the liberal side, because as I've shared with everybody here, and when AT is here, he says the same thing. We have been called everything under the sun, just talking about the truth. I have been called N with the hard R. I've been called a bedwench. I have been called a candy girl. I didn't even know what a candy girl is. I've been called all kinds of names.
Time out. What's a candy girl? I'm not.
What is Dave about to say? Because the way he looked, they said basically the little slave girl that would sit on the master's lap to get some candy and do certain things.
Wow, I never heard that one before. Wow,
I didn't know that either.
They're creative.
Very. And these are the white liberals. They are entitled. They come in to when I was on TikTok, come in and spewing this. And the crazy thing is, you'll see Black people sit there and be like, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, so you're gonna let somebody talk to a brother or a sister like that just because we don't agree politically? You're not watching that they're racist, and the minute that you don't do what they want you to do, they're going to flip on you the same exact way. The word says a self-control is like a city without a lack of self-control is like a city without any walls, right? And that's literally what you're seeing. They want to tear down the walls that anybody run in here. And we saw the list of the people that they were trying to arrest. These are people that are P3DOs, that are going after your children, that are trafficking, that are doing these things. Explain to me, why would any woman, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle, would be out there protesting to protect people like that? The crazy thing is, I never saw those protests for Lake and Riley. I never saw those protests for Jocelyn Nyanga. I never saw those protests for Dakara Thompson, the Alana in Texas. I never saw any of these protests. Didn't matter if they're Black, white, Hispanic, any of the women or men that died at the hands of illegal immigrants. I never saw these protests. This is how sick and twisted they are. And that is why it says in Isaiah 5:20, they will start to call good evil and evil good, light dark and dark light, bitter sweet and sweet bitter. This is what we're seeing very active today. And all we can do is pray for these people because they are lost, and be protected. Let me clarify, and be protected, because they're out there trying to learn. I watched a video of somebody saying they're trying to learn to shoot now. So they're at the gun ranges trying to learn to shoot, to prepare to come against conservative mindsets. And last thing I would say, you have to know these people are crazy, because the fact that they would bring their children to some of these protests, knowing how violent some of these protests will get, that is because in their mind, there's such a high commodity in their mind. I am a white woman. You should never even point a gun at me. This is why they're mad, because she was a white woman that is part of the LGBT community. So that never should have happened. That's a high commodity, and we should be bowing before her. But you know what? It's finding out season. So
yeah. Crickets in reference to Rachel Morin here in Maryland, Dakara Thompson here in Maryland, not too far away. That situation happened not too far away from where I live at. And I heard nothing from any of these folks out here. And where that incident happened with Dakara Thompson, this is a liberal district. I live in a liberal district. I'm in District 3 in Maryland. Our representative is a Democrat. This young lady was dropped off in Annapolis, Maryland. If you know anything about it, it's Anne Arundel County. Crickets, nothing from the governor, nothing from the representative in the district where it happened at, nothing. One of the state senators running down to El Salvador, crickets, when we lost two young women here in our state. It's ridiculous, man. It really is. Celeste, I'll give you the next word.
Their selective outrage proves their lack of integrity.
Absolutely.
So both white women and Black women equally are caught up in the Thelma and Louise syndrome. You put these women in the schools, where they are predominantly in charge of the schools. They indoctrinate your children. You put the women and you bring them in your home. They will not let a man lead the home, and they will not let any discipline come over the children. You bring them out into society. They move around with sexual indiscrimination, and then someone marries them, and they wonder why the marriages aren't working out, and then they end up divorced. So these cornerstone institutions of our family, in which both the Black and the white liberal women play a predominant role, are led to destruction. They've destroyed the schools, they've destroyed the homes, they've destroyed sexual morality, and they've destroyed a level of discipline needed to send children out into the world to be responsible adults. And as the fires loom behind them at the end of the lifetime of all of their bad decisions, they hold hands and ride off a cliff. And that's where we are now. We're at the precipice of the cliff, trying to figure out how to get our society back. And the broader critique to me, and this is very much, I would like to pick up where Crystal left off. The broader critique is that liberalism in general has their codification of liberalism has in many ways supplanted racism. What they have done is they have taken this female value system, which upholds things like love and kindness and care, which are good values, but are not appropriate in every situation. And they have codified them so that other masculine, more rational values have no point of entry in any of our institutions. And this is why we see the society devolving and spiraling so out of control, is because every place we look, when we look to our schools, when we look to our law enforcement, until very recently, when we look to our military, and when we look to particularly our local municipalities, what we see is women instituting and affecting those values which are destroying our society. And when the society is blowing up, again, they will simply hold hands and ride off a cliff.
I want to hear from you guys, man. What are your thoughts on all of this? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Appreciate you guys, man. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the